What it is, YouTube, is Kalil, and we are back with another reaction. We got to talk about some controversial ish right now because, of course, Puff and what's been going on with his case has been something that we have been talking about for really the entirety of 2024. So now we have Gene Deal. Gene Deal is the ex-security guard of Puff. If you don't know who he is, he's been doing a lot of interviews regarding Puff and his recent past with him. So now he's speaking on what Biggie Small's mother told him about Puff. What? I don't even know, bro. I don't know. But look, man, we here to have a good time. If you're here and you're new to the channel, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, man. Leave a comment down below of what I should react to next. Let's go ahead and get into it, man.
Gene, here go Miss Wallace.
Gene Deal.
Hey, Miss Wallace, Gene Deal.
Oh, hi, Gene. How are you?
All right, man. You know I ain't seen you since I came to your house and had that conversation with you. How you been? You all right?
I've been okay. I've been watching you on Facebook.
I'm sorry, Miss Wallace. I'm sorry I had to do what I had to do, but you know, it is what it is.
Okay. I know you do.
Thank you, Miss Wallace. Like I told people, I said if Miss Wallace would have called me and told me to shut it down, I would have shut it down. Miss Wallace ain't called. She knew how to get in touch with me. If Miss Wallace didn't tell me to shut it down, I'm going to keep doing it because I respect you, Miss Wallace.
Do what you do.
Thank you, Ma. I appreciate you.
What you do.
What was the backstory behind that? Big Mom calling you.
My man, that had to be, if I say exhilarating, it has to be.
Oh, I gotta go back. Okay, so I'm just trying to figure out what was the purpose of her calling him. Because now it got me thinking again. It got those gears turning. We're going back to Biggie Small's death. Was it set up by Puff? Was he framed by someone else? Now it got me thinking back in that bag, man. I'm the person to think, yo, Puff is innocent until proven guilty because I feel like he deserves that as an individual, especially as a black man. You know what I'm saying? Because the judges, they some fucked up people. But it just got me thinking, like, could Puff be responsible for Biggie Small's death? Could he be? I don't know, man.
If I say exhilarating, it has to be one of the highlights of coming out here and doing what I've done over the last, since 97. Since 97. Since I seen Miss Wallace. You know what I'm saying? To hold Miss Wallace's hand and explain to what happened to her son that night.
Oh, okay.
It was one of the, I guess, most emotional times I've ever had in my life. Because here I am explaining how your son died. And his last words and everything that went on after somebody who you trusted with your son's life told you that they didn't even know me. But God.
Oh. Wow, man. So for one, for you to have to be the person to communicate to a mother that her child was killed, that takes an alpha dude, bruh. You know how hard it is to look someone in their face and say, this happened to your son. I can't even do that and say I stole some shit. I can't even look you in the face and say, bro, I stole the chicken that you was trying to eat. I can't even tell my girl that to her face. You think I'm going to be able to tell somebody's parent that their child was murdered, bro? Oh, my Lord, man. So I feel like I'm just bringing that, I'm pointing that specific instance out just to show that they have a relationship already. You know what I'm saying? Since 96, since Biggie passing, rest in peace to Big. But they have a relationship. And I was just kind of confused as to why he was even speaking on this or why she would call him. But I understand now. They have something that can't be shared amongst other people, bro. She damn near probably look at him as a second son for real.
His last words and everything that went on after somebody who you trusted with your son's life told you that they didn't even know me. But God is good every time, man, all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when she mentioned my name, my fraternity brother, Bill Willard, was right there and said, yo, that's my fraternity brother, Gene Deal. I know him. I could call him right now. I went up to see Miss Wallace, brother. And she took me around her whole house, and I seen the memorial of Big. I seen how this lady loved and lost her only child. And brother, when I say that it was an emotional time sitting there with her, it's something that I'll never forget, and I never ever want to go through that.
My bad.
With my child, or again with nobody else's. Miss Wallace is a strong lady.
That's some hurt, boy. Oh my, I couldn't even imagine. The way he was just slaughtered like that, bro, is sad, man. Every time I think about it, I'm just thinking to myself, like, there's another influential black person that was brutally murdered by the streets. And then what really messes me up is the possibility of Puff being the one to set it up. And like I say, bro, I'm mixed emotionally when it comes to this, because I'm always gonna side with my brothers. But in this specific situation, my brothers are on both sides, so I gotta stand neutral. We had Puff on this side, we had Big on this side. They're trying to pin Puff for doing these things or for murdering Biggie Smalls as if he isn't already dealing with a surplus of other shit. So to me, it's kind of suspicious for them to be like, I know that's always been in the talks that Puff has something to do with it, but this just feels like the perfect opportunity for them to pin Big's murder on someone else, which they've been trying to do for a long ass time. They've been trying to solve this murder for a while now. I thought they were, coming to the end of it, but it just looks like they're opening up a new case now, which is, it don't sit right with me, bro, when I really think about it, man. It really don't sit right with me. Why would they do this? It's kind of like the Lil Durk situation. Lil Durk was brought in on murder for hire charges, and now they're trying to stack more charges on top of him. They're trying to connect him to more crimes in Chicago. And I'm not saying that the possibility of him being guilty of those crimes is zero, but it's just like an opportunity to dump unsolved shit on other people, on somebody that's already in trouble,
Somebody else's. Miss Wallace is a strong lady. You know what I'm saying? Miss Wallace, she, and I'm not saying because she's Jamaican, or anything like that, that she got that down home, like she is about her business. But I used to be hurt because I knew the people that she had around her was Puff boys. So we could never connect like that. So only time I tried to connect with Miss Wallace is when she needed me, and she used Perry Sanders to call me if they needed something. That was her lawyer at the time. So, because I knew that those other cats that she had around her, they was for the benefit of themselves. And if you look at it, they benefit a lot through that estate with Big. Mark Pitts, Wayne Barrows, they was all cool with Puff. You understand? When they was working for Miss Wallace. And I know I'm going around and beating around the bush with this, but brother, John Paperwork again, he got everybody number, he could do it like that. And I didn't even know he was calling Miss Wallace. And if you look at that tape, when he was calling Miss Wallace, I was screaming, yo, tell I want to.
Yo, one thing that I'm trying to figure out here is why did Puff and Gene Deal have a falling out? I know that now Gene Deal obviously doesn't agree with what Puff was doing in the past or what he was allegedly doing in the past and allegedly did in the present. But what was their real reasoning for falling out? Like, what was it that Puff did or what was it that Gene did for them to break that relationship that they had established? Because if we think about it, if you're a celebrity, especially an A-list celebrity, someone on Puff's level, you're gonna have a security guard. With this security guard, you gotta be able to trust them with your life. If I can't trust you with some small shit, why would I be able to trust you with my life? You get what I'm saying? So their relationship was obviously well developed. My question to you, or my question to y'all, is what do y'all think happened between Gene Deal and Puff to make them split ways? Security guards really rock with you until the end. Like Big, what's my man name? Big Black and Rob Dyrdek. They even had a damn TV show together, bro. They were best of friends. Because at the end of the day, if somebody tried to cross Rob Dyrdek, Big Black gonna knock the shit out of you. He gonna knock the snot out of you. You know what I'm saying? As my OGs would say. But I'm just trying to figure out where did hostility come from. Now, Gene Deal's speaking out on everything that's going on. So my question is, what really happened? What happened?
Tape. When he was calling Miss Wallace, I was screaming, yo, tell her I want to talk to her. I want to talk to her. But they had me on mute. But him being an outright brother and straight, he said, yo, Miss Wallace, I got Gene on the phone. And she said, Gene Deal? And he said, yeah, Gene Deal. He want to speak to her. She said, I watch his stuff on Facebook and YouTube all the time.
That's crazy, bro.
And I was like, yo, my man, to hear Miss Wallace, Big Mother say that, brother, it sent a chill down me because it reminded me of Wolf Mother.
What the fuck is that?
Miss Mama Jones. She gave me her rights to say what I needed to say on the behalf of her son. She gave me her blessings. She came on my program.
I mean, that's huge, though. I feel like if I was Big's father or my child was viciously murdered, I think initially I'd say, yo, hell no, don't speak on my son because you don't know shit. But then as time expired, you don't just stop thinking about the people who murdered your children. This is what I can assume. You don't stop thinking about the people who murdered your child or your homeboy or your cousin. You know what I'm saying? You just don't do it. So I feel like Miss Wallace, to bring her inner peace, she had to give Gene that blessing. Like, look, man, speak on whatever you got to speak on. Please tell your truth, because if you don't, this case will be ongoing like it has been for the past 20, 30 years, man. I think that's Miss Wallace really speaking her piece. Please, Gene, do what you need to do. Hopefully you can help. And maybe you could, solve some problems or solve some questions that we've been having for the past couple of years. 2.5 decades, bro. I think that's valid, man.
For her son. She gave me her blessings. She came on my program. So, bro, to hear Miss Wallace say that, and the first thing I said as a gentleman, I said, hey, Miss Wallace, how you doing? And then I wanted her to know that I respect her to the fullest. And the first thing I said was, Miss Wallace, if you tell me to stop, leave Puff, stop, no, I didn't say leave Puff. If you tell me to stop doing what I'm doing, I will. She said, no, G, I watch you. You keep doing it. You doing a good job. Man, listen here. Yo.
G said, let the bag keep going. G said, yo, I gave her the opportunity. He said, I gave her the opportunity. But Miss Wallace, I gotta make this chicken. He said, I don't care. If you want me to stop talking about Puff and your son, I'll do that. No, if you want me to stop talking about your son and Puff's relationship, I'll do that. But I ain't gonna just stop talking about Puff. The bag too deep, man. I'm trying to make this money on it, and I can't even be mad at him, because I'd do the same shit if I had some info, some 4-1 on Puff. Who wouldn't, bro? They paying him good to talk about this shit. So shit. I mean, I'm just thinking realistically, we all got bills to pay here, man. We all got, if they ask me what I know about Puff, I know shit. I know a little something, you know. I'm joking, but yeah, man, I think that Gene Deal is, hopefully he's telling the truth. Because some of his interviews, bro, they were kind of iffy to me. Like, how the hell you know that much about that specific situation without being a part of it? And I always say this. If you knew this much about that situation or about anything that Puff has been doing and you refuse to speak on it, bro, you were a part of the problem. Now, I appreciate the fact that you're coming back now in the redemption tour, trying to say, oh, look, these were the things that were going on, allegedly going on, of course, but just during that time period would have been the best, the most optimal time to speak on it. Not 20 years later. You get what I'm saying? So I'm still holding Gene accountable, but I think that he does he deserves some type of recognition for speaking on this shit now, because there are obviously people out there now that's still not speaking on anything that went down out of fear, I would assume, of what would happen to him. But like I said, bro, we don't know anything to be true, so I really don't give a fuck.
I was happier than one of them boys at a Diddy party. I was so happy.
Gene, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? I had to, bro. I had to. Gene, you're talking too spicy, my boy. That was a little too spicy. My bad, yeah. I had to hit him with that shit.
Man, it was crazy. Cause this was the first time I had talked to Miss Wallace since the last time I talked to her and was telling her about Big's death. And she said I didn't want to hear no more.
Oh, yeah.
Hate you.
She low-key getting tired of that nigga. I ain't gonna lie. She said, you do what you do. But I think for her to call Gene Deal, I think in all reality, she feels some type of resentment towards him. Like, she doesn't... I don't think she really fucks with the fact that he's still speaking on Biggie, or speaking on that Puff could have possibly done anything to hurt her son. Because at the end of the day, we know Puff and Biggie, they were super close. So for all we know, Puff could be helping Miss Wallace out in some way, shape, or form. So maybe she was calling Gene to check his ass, like, bro, you speaking on my son's homeboy. You know, I've known Puff for this amount of years. How could he do something like that? I really want to know the parameter around there, that conversation. I want to know the details, because of course we heard what he wanted us to hear, but she really could have pressed his ass like, yo, you talking crazy on Puff. The media is bringing him down. I hate that. Puff did so much for our family. He did so much for my son. How could you speak out against him? Hey man, I'm just throwing the possibilities out there. When it comes to the internet, bro, they put out what they want us to see, is what I'm saying. So just take it with a grain of salt and formulate your own opinions on it, bro. That's all I'm saying. But look, man, that's the end of my reactions. If you enjoy your time here, if you enjoyed the reaction, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below of what I should react to next. And until next time, make sure to leave yourself a number. Peace. It's Ingris.